Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA Bag Work Edition. Today's bag work, we're gonna work on kick timing drills. So the idea of today is using the movement of the bag to time our kicks. A lot of times when we do pad work or different drills, everything is stationary. But in reality, when you're fighting, everything's moving. I'm moving, my opponent's moving, and I have to use timing. But a good strategy is using your kicks to be able to time your opponent in the way they move, right? Our kicks are very long, so we wanna use these long range weapons as best as we can before we have to use our shorter range weapons like our boxing. Okay, so today's workout, like our other bag work editions, we're gonna do 5 rounds, and these are technical rounds, and each round gives you something specific to work on. Okay, so let's get right into the first one. The first weapon you like to throw when it's kicks should be your longest and safest weapon. And when it comes back to old school traditional martial arts, the first one is the front kick. So what the front kick does for us, it lets us get movement of forward and backwards, okay? Just like some of the other videos we talked about, when throwing front kicks, you gotta remember there's 2 ways. I talk about a push kick versus a front kick. A push kick is something where I'm trying to use my hip and to generate force to keep my opponent away. It's more of a defensive tactic. So I'm here pushing away with my hip, pushing away with my hip. Where more of a front kick, I'm looking for that snap. I'm looking for hit and pull back. Okay, so just remember when doing round 1, which is our front kicks, is to make sure we get the bag moving. Do you want to push the bag to create the movement, or do you want to stop the bag with that snapping front kick? Okay, just one rule when you're doing this workout today, we want the bag to move, but the last thing I want to see you do is grab the bag with your hands. We're kick fighting now. We want to be able to control movement, our opponents, with just our legs. So if the bag is stationary and I want to move it, I push kick. If I want to stop it, I can do more of a stabbing style front kick. Or because it's still kick fighting, kick meat still incorporates the knees. So if I want a knee, it's coming in, boom. So that's the strategy. Use that forward and backwards movement to use my knees or those snapping front kicks, okay? Let's go round 1, timing with the front kicks with forward and backward movement. Remember, please do not touch the bag with your hands. All right, let's go, round 1. Now that we've got that forward and backward movement timing, now one of my favorite ways in round number 2 is going to be lateral tracking, which means I now have my opponent against the ropes, against the cage. So at this point, they can't move backwards because the cage or the ring's behind them. If they come forward, they're meeting me and I'm here in their face. So I'm giving them 2 options. They gotta go left or right now. So this is where my lateral tracking comes into play. So the bag now is going to be moving this way, left and right. So as the bag comes back, boom, I want to be able to chop them. So I'm lateral tracking them against the ropes. As my opponent moves this way, I can chop. So I'm using the timing of the bag moving laterally to be able to time my kicks, okay? So you're walking them into the kicks. Now, like I said in the first round, I don't want you touching the bag with your hands. So what I'm gonna do now, if my bag is stationary and I want to get the bag moving, I can't just ask my opponent, excuse me, sir, can you please move for me? No, it doesn't work that way. So I have to kick them or force them in the direction that I want to go to. So right away, I'm gonna use my kicks, boom. Now I've created that movement in the bag. I want it to move more, I hit it at the end. So now you see the bag swinging more. Now when I'm at the point now where I want to stop it, use my lateral track, shoom. So right away when you see that, I walk them into my low kicks. Prime example, my fight with Raymond Daniels. Keep him against the ropes, and then eventually he circles towards my power kicks, and that's how I got that low kick and that right head kick finish, okay? So, round 2, use the tracking of the bag. Now, for those of the advanced followers, as the bag's moving on the left side, remember we're kick fighting, you can throw a switch kick if you're still in your orthodox position. Or what I can do if you're more advanced, as the bag's moving, I switch stances, okay? I can go into southpaw. So the bag's moving here, I want to chop here, I go southpaw, now I got my bag stopped. I laterally track them, I walk my opponent into the low kicks, okay? Round 2, lateral tracking. Now that we've established forward and backwards timing, left and right, now it's about getting my opponent to move backwards and attacking them as they move back. So that is called my exit attacking. A lot of times you hear me talk about push-off attacks or exit attacking. So what am I doing is I'm crashing the range. If I'm inside, as soon as my opponent escapes, exits, I throw a nice head kick or a low kick on their exit. So inside, they go to exit, boom, they eat the head kick or the low kick. If they're moving out with their head first here, it leaves me the leg, I'll probably exit with a low kick. If they're pulling their leg and leaving their head there, that's where my push-off head kick comes around. So when you're playing this round, what I want you to do is be able to push off the bag, and then as the bag is exiting, that is when I throw my kick. So because this is a kick timing, right, we're looking for that kick. So from the mid-range, close range, clinching, kneeing, push off, boom, attack on the exit. I can push off left head kick, push off right low kick. So I can still change the levels with my kicks. It just has to come off a push off. Now, if you're practicing your kick fighting timing by using your hands to probe and to set things up, what I might do is I might use my straight punches. So if I'm here and I'm playing, then all of a sudden I want the bag to move. If I throw my punches, and now I have that movement, see? Boom. So the bag is moving and I'm creating the exit attack with my punches. So this round, you want to create the exit. Create it with a push off, a clinch enter, or you can do it with your hands. But remember the timing, as soon as it exits, boom, the fast release of the head kick or the low kick. Okay, you decide, but make sure you change levels, play around, go left and right side to confuse. A lot of times after push off, your opponent might be ready to block on one side, but this way, boom, you can switch it up, confuse the opponent. All right, let's go. Switch it up, round 3, using exit attacking. All right, now we established all of our front and round kick attacks. Now it's important to kind of change up the range and the diversity of your kicking. So you might not be a side stance fighter, but just for the drill, just for timing, just for variety, round 4 we're gonna mix in the side kick. And it's more of a traditional martial arts technique, and we don't use it as much in modern MMA, but it's still good to get used to that timing. So just like our front kick, it's good to use the side kick on a forward and backward movement. So what I'm trying to do is time the side kick as my opponent walks in. It's that spearing side, boom. Now for those who are more advanced, right, I like to stay in an orthodox or switch stance. So when I want to attack off my lead side, I put my power side in front. So for example, if I want a side kick with my right leg, boom, I'll turn in a southpaw so I can snap more power. right? If I want to get more power from here, I might do a step through side kick to get more launching power. So I can do front leg or rear leg. Now, those who are advanced, I could also mix in my spinning back kick, okay? I classify a side kick and back kick all under one umbrella. So remember, important to get good power from a side kick, you need a good side stance. So extension and back. Now I teach side kicks, knee up, out, and extension. Toe pointing down, my heel makes a straight line with my body, and my plant foot, my toe is pointing in the opposite direction. If I'm side kicking you this way, my plant foot is pointing the opposite way. This makes sure I get full snap. And remember, I don't want to side kick with a bent hip, full extension, and snap down, okay? Remember, the timing is as the bag comes, knee up, extension, pivot on the back foot. Now, when I want the bag to move, right, I can do stationary, or when you get really good with things, you can use in a stepping in side kick. That's the best way to close distance and generate as much power. So you'll be in 2 feet, step in with one side kick. So you're using that gallop momentum, boom, to snap through and to get as much power as you can, okay? So round 4, just time, be light. Remember, when you're gonna land with it, try to land with the heel, with my toe pointing down, or the side of my foot, okay? Everything is landing from the side or heel. I don't wanna hit flat foot, all right? Or my toes pointing up. Ready, round 4, side kicks. Round 5 for our kick timing drills. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix front kicks, round kicks, and angles. So just like all of our round attacks, you can't always throw round, round, round. You have to mix up attacks down the middle. If everything is too round, it's easy for your opponent to pressure. If I'm only throwing these round kicks, a good boxer, a good pressure fighter is gonna be able to close that distance, jam me, and push me back. So the key is, after 1 or 2 round kicks, you gotta go front kick. And also, because we're using kick fighting, kick timing drills, I have to make sure I make subtle angles. If I'm just sitting flat-footed, hitting here in one shot, the pressure, the hit, it might move me back. So here, this round, I want you to mix in different angles. And I want you to throw in repetition, front kick, round kick, front kick, round kick, front kick, round kick. And what that's gonna do is, it's gonna help you control your stance. It's gonna help you to be able to return and always mix in. So you'll see what I'm doing here. After I throw a round kick right away, boom, a straight attack comes. Round attack, straight attack. This way, if my opponent thinks they're gonna pressure in after a round kick, I'm gonna have something straight waiting for them. All right, but the key is here, mix angles, don't just sit there. So one key way to do it with the kick fighting and the timing drills, so even if the bag's moving, I might angle off. I might create a little pivot. I might step out and attack. Now, what I like to do is, in order to change angles after my kicking, because usually you kick and then boom, they throw the counter punch, because a kick is a lot heavier than a punch. So most people have to brace themselves to block that kick, and then they look to fire out, right? So what's gonna happen is, after I fire that kick, I'm not gonna replace my foot back in the same spot. I'm gonna put it elsewhere so I can create that angle. For example, I might throw a right kick. Instead of putting it down in a traditional where it came from, I might kick, step out, create an angle. Now I have a different angle to kick, to punch, or attack, and not only it takes me off of center line, so if my opponent's throwing 2 punches, 3 punches down the middle, I have an angle and a better chance of landing my counter kicks. And just like the workout itself, kick timing drills is all about distance control, timing, and angles. So put together all 5 rounds and you're gonna find a big difference. But remember, and I keep repeating, a good kick fighter has to have good defense. So when doing these drills, just make sure your hands are tight, nice and sharp, reminding yourself that you need to be as stable, as grounded, and as structurally sound as possible, okay? Round 5, front kicks to round kicks, and let's mix them up, all right? So make sure you keep liking and subscribing to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Check out the channel sponsors, HayabusAFight.com. Their T3 boxing gloves are my personal favorite. Perfect Sports Nutrition. Check the description below. Use code Bazooka20 to get 20% off. Share with your friends. We'll see you here next time at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.